I don't know how familiar you are with the tarot cards, each of them individually. But the one that's like, I think it's the two of coins, where I think the fool is sort of balancing this like two of coins, and it's in a, or pentacles, and it's in a figure eight, and there's these, the around the two pentacles, and he's sort of balancing it like this, um, which obviously has all its own meaning, but I don't know, that's kind of that's the visual I got when you were describing sort of these two circles coming together in sort of the infinity.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, it's like the sun and the moon, and they created this fake connection in between sun and the moon for the moon to overshadow the sun. It's like two competitors all of a sudden, energetic. Because if the sun, let's say, of the vibrational frequency of the sun would be plus 1,000, the moon would be minus 1,000. Because when they activate the moon by using our energies, then all of a sudden they neutralize the effects of the sun that's supposed to wake people up. That's what I felt. So when we take the moon out, the sun could fully shine and not be blocked anymore. But those two energetic planets, what is Rahu and Ketu, whatever they're called, they're kind of overshadowing. We should look it up with a K, overshadowing and eclipsing the sun. It's
Okay.
like they're two planets. They're taken over at some point. I didn't research on that, but and so the moon, they could give the more energy to the moon and be as serve as a conductors of creating a shield to cover the sun. That's what I saw. It's very I felt like it was complicated, and I felt a lot of information coming. Yeah, I'm actually reporting this just in case, because it's kind of interesting, because sometimes after the session it's more interesting than the session by itself, because you kind of understand the complexity of it. And that's probably why, we have to take out or reprogram some of the planets that they programmed in a negative way to affect the earth energetically, in order for everybody to progress in consciousness faster than we are. Because, I mean, to be honest, I was thinking the other day, look at how we all, trying to share the knowledge, but then one accuses the other that the other is saying non-truths, but in fact, look at our DNA, it's all different. Look at our fingerprints, all different. Look at the way we decode reality, it's all different based on our original DNA. And it's always different because it's based on your experiences, and experiences are all unique, different. So you basically create your own truths and untruths. And so if you don't resonate with this person, that person, just don't listen to that person. But at the same time, don't accuse them of spreading the wrong information. Because they can be, there's so many different projections of each planet. If people could just see what I see, it makes your head spin, the different projections of Earth. It goes like din, 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 din. And from there's also different bubbles and projections of that. And it's multiplying. It's like a cell that gets divided all the time, every second. When
Wow.
it's a baby in your uterus, the same idea.
Wow.
Huh? How can you ever? But it was done the same way. The whole matrix is built on this, and I want people to understand. They want you to fight with each other, but there's no single truth.
Yeah.
You'll never find a single truth.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense now, right? As an older, more evolved person, and like, okay, well, that's what they believe. And I still find myself, like when I see people with masks or whatever in certain areas, I'm like, oh, really? But then I think to myself, I'm like, no, I get it. That that's your reality. Yeah.
Their reality. That's our truth, and that they build it up. What you believe in, you create. You know, you go to this healer or this fortune teller or whatever, clairvoyant, and they tell you, they read one of your timelines, but you have multiple, endless amount of timelines. But if you believe, you trust that person, you believe in what they say, you will create. And then you'll say, oh, look, this person was right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the validation is there, but you don't understand how actually happens because you believe that person, and what you believe in, you create. You created it on autopilot automatically,
Yeah.
but you can also create more than that person says. And and once you, or when you go back and change something, you can do it in your mind too. If you don't like some act that you did or something you thought about or somebody, you go back with your eyes closed to that moment. It's easy, right? And you change it. You think differently or you do a different thing, and by doing that you're switching automatically into different frequency. By switching to different frequency, it's a different timeline that you switch to. You hop on automatically, and so from that moment you changed already all the events of the moment of here and now, because it's always the moment of here and now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so
Um,
anyway.
it makes a lot of sense that I was when you said scientist, because I'm so my girlfriend who does the readings is very she's always like, you got to get out of your male energy, stop being so analytical. I'm like, I can't just turn it off, like it's just the way I am. And she's trying to explain to me, I'm like, how come I can't find love, what's going on, what's up, guys, like, direct me. And she's like, there's something in your physical body that is like that is keeping you from that. Like, you need to figure it out, basically. I mean, this is like obviously a snippet of a conversation. But later that night, Dr. Joe Dispenza pops up in my YouTube feed, right? So obviously a little gift
So
there.
you
And it was literally 30 minutes of like, this is why you don't have love. But it was all about like the body and mind connection. And he explained it in about a 10-minute snippet in a very scientific way, the way the science works. And I was like, oh, now I get it.
uh,
It wasn't connecting before that. So I guess now I understand a little bit more why I'm so, I guess cause and effect, very linear, very analytical. Kind of makes sense because simultaneously I'm doing this other thing.
yeah, it's true. And it's interesting what you also said about the heart, because this ring, I really saw it right from the beginning. It was like kind of like glowing almost around your heart. That others, sensitive people felt it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because it was connected by it's almost like an electronic or light impulse to the other cords that were wrapped around your energy sphere. And it looked from far away like stripes or horizontal stripes around your energy sphere. So,
That's not good.
yeah, that's because your heart is the main electromagnetic field that connects you to your soul. You can
Right.
disconnect by doing that. So, yeah,
That's
well,
why they put that around my heart, because that is where the main energy is. Got it.
right. Yeah, and also that way you cannot get your knowledge, your memories from your soul's essence, because that's a connection there. You just close it up that way. Yeah.
Wow. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for discussing it too, because I think sometimes it's fun for people to, if you let me publish it, this part, it's fun for people to hear this, 10 minutes of after the fact, some of the confirmations, like you said, your father's from Andromeda too, and yeah,
Yeah.
so you definitely, for some reason I saw it on the left part there, and the left I also see that's where the Pleiades are, but Pleiades have this big like a portal system going to Earth, and it's like a big soul incarnation center to help Earth go through from Pleiades. I always see it. It's kind of interesting, yeah.
That's kind of how I've heard of it. He and I, my father and I, very much butted heads in life. We were not close. We argued all the time. And
Right.
when he came through and was talking about Andromeda, I said, how many, I was asking about our lives together. And he explained, well, you're from Andromeda too, and that's why we butted heads so much, because I knew everything and you knew everything, and subconsciously we were just like, no, I know, no, you're wrong, I'm wrong, no, you're wrong, and
Right.
I'm right, and it made a lot of sense to me because
Oh
so
yeah, of course.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, they also want you kind of to fight so you don't share knowledge, you don't unite in your energy, right? It's all about the system of splitting everybody here. So anyway, but yeah, there's our strength is in unity. We should just close our eyes and agree to disagree with everybody. That's the only way to stop. Because everybody wants to go to the new world, but yet everybody's fighting who's right, who's wrong. I mean, it's not going to happen unless you stop fighting.
Yeah.
We're the ones to bring it, not anybody else from above is going to do it for us. Because in order to help any planet, you have to incarnate in the body of a being who lives on that planet and spread the knowledge. And from inside, it always happens from inside outwards. The same thing, we create whatever outside we see in our life, and one event after another, it's something we need to comprehend through that event, through that experience, because everything we already understood is inside us, right? We keep it as knowledge, as experience, it's in our DNA. So, but yeah, it's important to understand. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.